Well, hello there.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. Tell you what, we need to end this cold. I'm sat here and I'm literally trying to stop myself shiver. I'm that cold.
Yeah, it is
Probably doesn't help
chilly.
that. I'm in the
Need to get
attic.
hat loss.
That's it. I have got loads of hats. I should bring them up here. Really.
Hello, I've got this one. I've got it on backwards.
I'm backwards, mate.
Jesus
It's a new
Christ.
style.
That's it.
I thought you were
I
rocking
rap
that.
to, I rap to the
Like a
people
new,
at the back.
It was a new thing you do, mate.
Yeah, no, I put it fucking backwards.
That'll
So
probably be in about 2 years. Everyone will
Yeah.
be doing it.
You're representing to everyone behind. Look, he's walking along.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, nice.
Double embroidery.
Fuck's sake. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. I need to get some hats up here definitely because my ears, even though they're covered by my headphones, it's not doing it. It's not doing it.
No.
But yeah, hopefully it starts to warm up soon, but everyone telling me that we're meant to be getting snow and more ice. I'm like, oh, please, no, please.
I feel like this winter's been especially cold. I don't know whether that is my perception or whether it actually is colder.
I think it has been.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I feel like winter almost gets delayed further and further into next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember as a kid, it used to be like cold in November to like maybe January.
Yeah, and that was it. Yeah. And now,
But now
you're definitely right. It's definitely getting later because, yeah, I mean, we've had November didn't seem that cold from memory. I always judge it, but basically, I play football, and the place where I play, it's on a little bit of it's like heightened, and when it's cold, it's absolutely Baltic. It's so cold. So like, I always know when I go there, I'm like, oh man, like it's almost like for the first 5-10 minutes, it's unbearable to play. And then you warm up. But yeah, so it's been like that the past couple of weeks. It's been like the coldest it's been.
Yeah, fuck it. In December, it was fucking. I think it was December. It's either December 10th or December 18th. Played in the Turkey Trot at golf, and it was literally, well, it's -5, and it was just ice.
Yeah.
And I won't go too much into it because I know a lot of people aren't into golf. But we were playing the first hole, and beautiful approach shot onto the green. Right? Oh my word! Oh my word! Bounced off like it was concrete, just straight through. It was like, why are we even here? Like, nothing was sticking to the greens. It was ridiculous. But like all the lakes were frozen and everything, and that was shit to play in. And so I was glad that it was, although it was cold, it wasn't ice. But now it's all fucking back.
Yeah,
it snowed the other day. What's that about?
I know, it snowed here.
It's horrid.
We got a little bit of snow, but it weren't much. So it fucks me off, right? About the ice. It's not necessarily the windscreen in the morning that you got to heat up and get rid of all the ice and water and shit. It's on my car that I drive. The handles for the doors, they actually go in like when the door's locked.
Mm.
So they're not on the outside. So when I unlock the door, they don't always come out when it's freezing because they just stick inside the door.
Yeah,
I don't actually know how to open the car without. So there's been a couple of times where I've just been like having to wait or put de-icer around it.
We've got a problem as well. I don't know if you'll go with the BMW. When you open the door, the windows go down, and then but because sometimes they freeze, you have to be careful because if you just pull the door open, you'll just break the mirror, the window.
Yeah.
So it's just.
I almost I've seen it's like black ice. I drive around the country roads to work, and I come out and I just, sometimes you jump in your car and you just don't even think about the ice. And it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like frost on the floor. So I was just driving, come around the corner, and then there's like a sharp turn, and I just come around as I normally would, not even thinking because I drove that bit and it was all right. And I just caught a patch of black ice, and it put me on the other side of the lane. I was going about 5 miles an hour, and it locked up. And then a car was coming, and she locked up, and we were just going and it wouldn't slow down. And I was like, that bit where I was like, shit, I'm going to hit her. Like, waited for the crunch, and then it just caught on the last minute, and I still thought I'd hit her. And then I wind my window down, so I'm so sorry. And she's like, "Oh, it's really bad." And then I looked down, and I swear to God, from about 30 meters, I was that close away from her.
Really?
I was just like literally another foot, and both cars would have like just not crumble, but it cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, so now I'm really cautious down the back lanes.
What was she in?
I think she was in like a Ford Focus.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, hers stopped pretty quick. It was mine that it was weird because it round a corner. Although the ABS were like locking in, it just caught this big patch of black ice, so it just wouldn't stop. It just kept going, and I was like, "Oh no!" Yeah, about 30 meters round the corner to the other side of the road. And
Jeez.
yeah, luckily, so lucky. But I'm really cautious now driving down there because I couldn't see it. I literally, it was black ice.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You hear that? What is
What's
that?
I have no idea.
It's like a washing machine.
It's not like someone's like throwing bottles on the front.
Factory's on fire.
Yeah, that's it. Someone's slipping the ice through the front door. Terrible.
How's the industry?
Well, you just never know when people are going to come out and like start buying shit.
Yeah.
So normally Christmas is dead. Like December is a write-off.
Do people not get mobility scooters for Christmas?
It's a bit of a weird present, I guess, to give someone, but at the same time, it's not. December's normally crap. January, I think, for pretty much every single industry is shite. But this start of January has been okay. It's started to tail off, but yeah, it's been all right so far. But we'll see.
That's tree surgeons, by the way. That noise.
Tree surgeon.
Tree surgeon.
Yeah, so they've cut down the trees and thrown it into a chipper.
Oh, fucking hell!
And it's right outside. So
no way.
There's a lot of trees.
Yeah. It's gonna be a rowdy one.
Imagine I just go out and just say, "Look, lads, I know you got a big contract on it, but kind of on a podcast."
Yeah. Can you just yeah, maybe chip them in about an hour.
Yeah, give us 45 minutes to an hour. You'll be safe.
Yeah, well, if it gets bad, I'll move to the old podcast room.
Okay. What I was going to talk about on this, the main subject is going to be around 15-minute cities. I don't know if either of you have heard about them. It's kind of a concept that's been around for a while, but not really implemented until basically now. But first thing I'm going to talk about is The Last of Us, because that's been out recently, the first episode of the TV show. I know me and Jordan have obviously played the game. I don't know about Dan, but I don't think you've watched it, have you, Jordan? You've only played the game.
No, I haven't. I need to.
It is very good. The first episode is very good. Do you know much about it, Dan? Have you heard much about it, or is he moving? I think he's moving.
He's moving. Dan's on the move. So while Dan's moving, he's on the move.
He's taking us with him. He didn't know it.
Off he goes. I'm intrigued to see the stairs situation.
Yeah, let's we'll talk the audience through. He's going through the factory right now. He's walking
on the move.
He's walking downstairs. Okay, he's going down to the front entrance now. Can we see the wood chipper? No, can't see it through the window. Okay, we're going through the factory.
Oh.
I don't know.
I think he might have disconnected that.
That's it.
That was always a risk. That's a hell of a freeze frame. Look at that. That's a thumbnail.
That's an action shot. Yeah, that is almost basically looks like Dan's exasperated. Maybe a hint of gurning in there.
It almost looks like if someone took a freeze frame whilst Dan took a shotgun shell to the chest and he's just gone.
Yeah.
It's just impacted his chest. Bosh.
Yeah, that's the first impact of the buckshot.
Yeah. Yeah. For the audio listeners, you'll have to pop over.
Yeah, I mean, it is
10 minutes to witness this because it's quite something.
It's quite a sight, let me tell you. I was going to try and screen grab that. Oh, well, I'll be able to do it on the replay.
He's gone.
He's gone. But anyway, yeah, The Last of Us, excellent. First episode did exactly what I hoped it would do, which is not do like a shot-for-shot fucking remake of the game cinematics, which it didn't do, which is good. It was good because it gave you obviously the impact of, you know, what happens to Joel in the before the pandemic or before what actually happens in the main
like the
story.
intro to the game, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
it gives you a good kind of, I don't know, it's slightly alternative to the game, only really in the sequence in which stuff happens and the quickness of how it all comes together. But the emotion's still there. Like that scene is just, I mean, for me, I don't think there is a game that's ever pulled on my heartstrings as much as that scene.
Certainly not as quickly either, because
No.
it's literally right at the start of the game. I mean, that when I first played that, I cried and I was like, "Fucking hell!" I've been playing this game for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah,
Very impressive, very incredible storytelling, which is why I'm slightly nervous about the show, because I know apparently the girl that plays Ellie was told not to play the game.
Right.
Which is just like, why? It's probably, well, it's definitely the best form of fucking source material. So it looks like they're going to go quite off source, which is always just like, why, man?
Yeah.
Especially when you got something like The Last of Us 1 that is a story masterpiece, in my opinion. It's a masterpiece of storytelling that I wish that they'd just left it at 1. But unfortunately, they didn't. But if they do decide to go a little bit with the storyline, I shan't be tuning in for season 2. That's for sure.
So, well, this is one of the questions I had about it, because where the fuck I don't think this can be a multiple season show.
Unless there is quite a bit of time, isn't there, between game 1 and game 2 that they could just like the adventures of Joel and Ellie.
Yeah. But in terms of like summing up what happens in season 1 and then going immediately to
there's no way.
It's just, you know. But it's made by the guy who did Chernobyl, or the producer that did Chernobyl.
Which Lewis just put in the chat, which I completely agree with. Chernobyl is one of the best series ever created, without a fucking shadow of a doubt.
Such a great series.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And the game director from The Last of Us is also involved as like the other producer or collaborator on it.
Which I'd be hyped for, but he also did Last of Us 2.
This is true. But he can't fuck that up, because this is, as far as I'm aware, only about the first game, the story of the first game.
Yeah.
So the story of the first game is just timeless. It's perfect in my view.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, that you can't really fuck this up, but also you don't want to just be shot for shot.
But this is modern day Hollywood, so they can definitely fuck it up.
That's true. Yeah. Pedro. Is his name Pedro Pascal?
Pedro Pascal, brilliant actor.
Yeah, brilliant as Joel already.
Needs a thicker beard, though. Just give him a fake beard. Joel has a thick beard. Pedro just has, like the wispy bits, which is fine. Amazing actor. But just give him a fucking thick beard. It's not fucking hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, looking at it, I think, you could do with a bit of a thicker beard. But on reflection, I don't really know how much it adds to the show, but I suppose if you want it to be character accurate, you know what I mean. You got to be there. Paul Dan's, but he's back in.
Hello. That's better.
Yeah, can't hear any wood chipping in the background.
No wood chipping. That's adjust and collect another internet.
Nice. We saw you taking the your MacBook through the factory a little bit. And then your freeze frame when you dropped out of the signal, I'm assuming, and it was amazing, the freeze frame we got.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was. It really was.
Oh dear, it was quality. But we've just been talking about The Last of Us. Obviously, I don't know if you played the game or seen the game at all, Dan.
I haven't. No, I've seen because there's a series, isn't there?
Yeah, it's new series.
Come out the other day.
Well, I've seen that, and I've seen it's got like Walking Dead vibes. But
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, The Last of Us is kind of centered around the cordyceps, where the kind of it's like fungal bacteria that
Right.
control the brain once it takes over it.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
Which we did that
yeah.
episode, didn't we, on like for parasites and fungus,
Yeah.
and the Last of Us creator created his zombie outbreak around a specific type of parasite fungus, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So it's
So we
not.
can't- No, it's like mushroom. Is it mushrooms? Well, I guess it's
Yeah,
fungus.
it's fungus. Yeah, it's a sort of. It looks like a mushroom when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very cool.
yeah, very cool. It's not like typically in your zombie shit, you either get attacked, you like scratched or bitten, and that's the only real way you can get transferred into transported into a zombie
Yeah.
or transformed. But in this, you've obviously got in the game, you got spores that in certain places in the game you have to wear like gas masks and such to not get infected or be taken over or whatever. But it's just a different different spin on the zombie genre, which was
Once you catch it,
surprise.
are you similar? Will you attack other humans? Is that the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like an instantaneous thing, but
Yeah.
it takes over your mind and you just basically become a drone. But yeah, it's really good series so far. I mean, it's only the first episode that's been out, but it's stayed true to the game, which is good, but also not just copied scene for scene what the game's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the casting of Ellie yet, but I feel like what I've seen so far is pretty good. So yeah, I've got high hopes for it. And honestly, if you have any interest in the show or that sort of game, I'd definitely implore you to go and play The Last of Us in any way you can, because it's just a brilliant game, a brilliant story, and you won't regret it if you like the sort of zombie genre, like survival game. It's really good and with a good story. So that's always a bonus.
Is
It's
it on
always
Xbox?
no, it's I don't know if it's on PC. I know it's on PlayStation. They released, I think they released the remaster of the original game like last year on PlayStation. So I'd imagine it's on PS4, PS5, and you could probably still play it on PS3. I'd imagine. But yeah, I don't know about PC.
Yeah, I think it is PlayStation.
So shows as well. They'll probably rebring the game out right there on all platforms.
Oh yeah,
They've
done that so many times.
Yeah, I don't know whether it will ever come to Xbox because it was a PlayStation exclusive game by one of their studios that they own. So I doubt it will probably ever come. But
It's
PC,
cool when they do that because it's I get it, but it's like I feel I'd like to play it, but I'm not going to go and buy a PS.
Yeah, to do it.
I mean, it's probably part of the reason why they do that shit. So you have to go and buy a PS, whatever it is at the time, to play it. But yeah, we'll move on to the main topic of the video or the podcast today: 15-minute cities. Have either of you heard anything about them?
Not really.
15-minute cities.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
No, it is a concept that's been around for a while. The kind of idea behind it is that you have everything within 15 minutes of where you live in a city. So the idea is that you shouldn't need to travel further than 15 minutes to go to hospital, to see a doctor, to eat out for a school, or go to a bookshop, whatever.
Yeah,
find a mechanic, all that sort of crap. The idea is kind of in your mind when you just hear that, you go, well, that sounds good. It sounds like, I should be able to walk like 15 minutes to go and see whoever I want to see. And that would be quite convenient. But the way in which it's implemented or is going to be implemented seems to be a little bit, what's the word? I don't know, dystopian, maybe. Because there is a trial set to happen in Oxford in the UK in 2024. I think they're going to do it. Now, they did have multiple rounds of like consultation with the public, and it looks as if They've just totally ignored what the public has said. Just said, we're going to do it. So you need to get used to it. The whole reason for it is to try and curb global warming or the climate catastrophe, whatever way you want to phrase it, because there's so many different ways that people phrase it. Basically, use cars less is the basic kind of thing that they're trying to do with this. So 15-minute cities, how it looks like Oxford are going to implement it, is you will have separate districts in Oxford that you will be allowed to cross with a car up to 100 times a year. It's not specified whether that's 100 times per household or per car. So if you've got a two-car household, you may only get 50 crosses each. If you go over those 50, you then get fined instantaneously. So there's going to be cameras that recognize your number plate. They will send a fine to you in the post as soon as you've gone over the limit. The idea, obviously, is to curb emissions, but when asked about, well, what happens if we want to get to the center of the city and we don't have any, basically tokens to cross anymore? Well, they say you should use the ring road on the outside of the city to get to where you want to go. But then people go, well, hang on a minute, that's a longer journey and it's going to cause more pollution, surely. So it doesn't really make sense. The way that it's going to be done seems like a bit draconian to me.
And they are doing this in North Oxford.
So they had a consultation period with the residents, and there was reported 93 or 94% of the people were not in favour of what they were going to do.
Good.
And they have basically ignored that and said it is going to happen. The trial is going to happen.
It's a really weird system because, so you get all the sit together, have a sit down with all the people that say live in the city. Most of the people who are going to be driving for those borders are going to be like driving out to work. So you're either already in the bracket where it's a lot lower than 100, but if you're over 100, it's because of something important, like a job.
Yeah.
That's
averages, it's 2 times a week. That's all that you will be able to do. 2 times a week.
So because if you live city centre and you work outside of the city, you're fucked.
Yeah, so that's all. It's the. I get it. It's a bit like London, isn't it, in places? But
like zero emission zones and stuff.
Yeah, and just places you can't drive down and stuff. But to just throw it in and not, they should, if they're going to do it, and obviously have a budget towards it, they should be maybe supplementing the people who it's affecting, and be like, okay, well, you get a grant if you move out, because obviously you have to move out because of your job or whatever. Like if you bought a house, say you've just last year you bought a house, like within that parameter, but you drive out to work, and now all of a sudden they're going, you can't only do 100 times, and you can't like pay extra to get around it. It's just weird, isn't it? It's a weird system. I can understand.
I don't get it. And also, why now? Like, we're moving towards electric cars. Why do this now?
Yeah. It seems that there's it seems like there's something more to it than a jet. In 2030, they're going to stop producing fuel and diesel cars anyway. So, I imagine it's for a different reason than the reason that they're saying. Doesn't make sense.
I saw a tweet by Jordan Peterson, which I think is, I'll put it up on the screen. I think is pretty, gets the kind of tone that I think he feels this is going to be implemented with. The idea that neighbourhoods should be walkable is lovely. The idea that idiot, tyrannical bureaucrats can decide by fear where you're allowed to drive is perhaps the worst imaginable perversion of that idea. And make no mistake, it's part of a well-documented plan.
Yeah, I've not seen that, and I agree. He puts it a lot more eloquently.
Yeah. First of all, I'm going to try and zoom in on this a little bit more. Don't know if I can.
Yeah, if you're the centre of Oxford, what the fuck are you meant to do? Just stay there.
So you've got hidden by this button here. You've got a filter here on the left-hand side. You've got a filter, Thames Street filter. You've got Holloway filter, and you've got another filter to the right, and St. Cross Street filter and Marston Ferry Road filter. Those are the 6 districts it's going to be split up into. It looks like the plan at the moment. What I'm not sure of is you get up to 100 passes a year to cross these filters. Is it to cross only one filter, or is it to cross all the filters within a specified time? Because if you need to go from, I don't know, Thames Street, and then you need to get to Marston Ferry Road, you're going to have to go through multiple filters. So you might end up using your entire hundreds like filter pass by.
What if you've got like an elderly mum that lives across fucking town that you got to look after?
Yeah, exactly.
This just doesn't fucking work at all.
If you've got they haven't specified how
get a bus,
but they tell you that you can still use taxis, buses, bike,
of course you can,
cycle, walk. You can have extra. Looks like they might be giving extra passes to people who have caring responsibilities, but they don't say how much extra or how that's going to be implemented. So
it's just make a lot more money, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
all it is.
Speaking of Jordan Peterson, right? I saw on a video the other day. He was talking about Canada's, and I know, like, I don't know how I feel about this, because I do think, we should, if we can reduce emissions in better ways than this bollocks, then fair enough, because, the planet and all the rest of it. Canada's plan over the next 25 years to reduce their emissions, will be cancelled out by China in a year. So I'd hate to be the what's the fucking point guy, but if China are producing that much emissions that Canada's 25-year plan, the amount of emissions are just pumped out by China within a year, what's the point? Like, literally all of 25 years of Canada's efforts wiped out in 365 days.
That's we're doing stuff in the wrong places. Like again, we can do all this. You could probably do all of this in every city, which was just going to piss everyone off and make everyone's life awkward and charge a lot more
there'd
money.
Be riots. If you do this, there'd be fucking riots.
And also, like, it could the whole of that over 20 years could probably again equate to another year in China production. There's a broader problem of consumption that they need to tackle, but they won't, because it's money. Like, if you look, there's other ways to tackle the problem, but the easiest way is to like enforce something like this and just charge us more money.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the only way I feel like we're actually ever going to sort the problem out is through scientific progress, or new discoveries. I don't think, because if we go back to China, like, if you see the amount of people in China who are in like abject poverty, like we're talking about.
China's not the problem; it's the West. And we do massive consumption. Like, we consume far too much than we should do, and we've got a throwaway mentality. And it's like, we didn't used to have that 30, 40 years ago, because you would, if you got a telly, for instance, whatever, you'd get it fixed. But because of the value on something, like, I personally think like lots of stuff kind of needs to change within like the whole recycling space. But you've got to make it so it's like it's got to be structured through grants and businesses and the economy, so it's beneficial for people. Like, like the whole plastic bottle thing. Like, you could be like, well, let's have glass bottles or tin cans, but when you take them back to the shop, then you get 20p back on each one. Watch how many people do that, because they're like, oh god, I buy a 10-pack at whatever, and I take them back and I get £2. And you give it to your kids, and your kids would do it. And it happens in other countries, but we won't do it because a company's not going to choose that option if that's not in place, because it's going to go for the plastic bottles because it's cheaper. And that's why wouldn't they? Like, it unfortunately, like, that's the way the world is set up at the moment. And that, I think that's what needs to change. It will change eventually, but the trouble is we usually change out of necessity rather than
absolutely.
There are countries like Denmark and Sweden and stuff that are like proactive and have got really good. It's often the case. It's often the case. Like,
I think it's just a human thing. Like my dad, right? It sounds like a massive tangent, but it is kind of what you're saying there about, until it's nearly too late. My dad went and had a health checkup a few years ago because he's 5 a day, right? Was 5 chocolate bars. He used to joke to build a whole life, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Went to the doctors and they were like, mate, you are like 0.1 whatever the reading is away from being type 2 diabetic. Boom. All of a sudden, I said to him, I was like, Dad, like, this isn't about me or my sister Chloe. This is about, do you want an extra 10, 15 years with your grandchildren that don't even exist yet? Right? That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Went to a fucking boxing class, sorted his diet out. Within 2 months, he'd fucking completely reversed it. And I think that something like this is unfortunately, it'll get to a point where, oh, fuck, we're literally going to either like burn up or we're going to drop into another ice age. So we need to, and then that's when I think everyone will come together.
Yeah, and that's the trouble is, I think stuff like this, although from the surface, it might seem like it's for a greater cause. When you start digging into it and unraveling it, it isn't. And that's
this will be for finances, 100%.
This is based it's going to be based around like Jordan Peterson says, a bigger plan.
Yeah,
and also people might look at this and go, fuck it, it's only Oxford, I don't live there. Like if they run this out and it works financially, they don't give a fuck about the people because they've already 94% have said no, they're just overwritten it. So they don't care about your house or your circumstances or your family. They'll run this, and if this works financially for them, they'll use that as a model to just do it. Birmingham, Manchester, all other cities, and it's going to fucking make a lot of people's lives like awkward.
I just don't. It just doesn't. It just lacks logic to me, unless they literally want people to use. I guess is this just like forcing people to use public transport and then they get money through the public transport systems? Is public transport private? But then again, with Tories, that doesn't really matter because they've got their fingers in all sorts of fucking private parts.
Yeah, and it's like if you look at London, it's just going to push the problem outside. Like the M25, it's like all the motorways will just be
fucking hell, yeah.
Congested. It doesn't. That's the problem. It's not a solution.
No.
Like if you have to travel for work or whatever, then you're gonna, people work around it. They'll buy 2 cars or they'll get someone else's address somewhere else. Like they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Or they'll move, which is maybe what they want.
Yeah. So I see. Yeah. So basically, if you want to go from West Oxford, which is in this yellow zone, over to Wood Farm, which is on the opposite side in the orange, rather than just going through the town, you got to go out onto the bypass and all the way around and back in again.
Yeah.
And what happens?
More fuel.
Move to fucking, I don't know, I can't really read from here, but say you move just out of that perimeter and you move to a village out there, and then in 5 years' time they go, okay, we're expanding this by 20.
Of course they will, 100%.
To the point where
because there's loads of emissions in the fucking countryside.
Yeah. All it is imaginary tolls that they can charge you for driving past. It's a toll system. It's a toll system that will be
another road tax.
Yeah, it's another road tax that we already that's it. But it's under the pretense of a greater good of climate change, and it isn't. Yeah. That isn't because we're going all electric anyway. That's not the problem. Like put the money into getting power plants in the UK so we can build an electric car infrastructure.
Yeah. But who the fuck? I'm sorry, like who the fuck are the government to tell us where we can and can't go on public roads? If it's private, obviously, if it's private land, you can't go there because it's private. I get that. But public fucking roads, no one has the right to tell you whether you can or can't. I'm not being funny. We pay the fucking government.
Yeah.
They work for us.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking hell, man.
If you probably drill down to all of this, there's probably someone sitting there and they've done some figures on it, and it's probably to do with like the recession. And they're like, okay, how can we squeeze some more money out of a city? Oh, we could do this. Okay, cool. Let's try that. If it works, we'll get it across every city.
I also don't know how this works with. I'm assuming Oxford is quite a tourist-heavy city.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
I don't know how this works for tourism. So if I travel to Oxford, am I allowed to go through all of them with a car? or do I have to get public transport there? I don't know.
Because it's 100 visits, it's basically just saying what we don't want is anyone commuting in the city. You need to get out. So like, it's just going to push people to move out, to sell up and move outside, which I'm sure in a way that will benefit. That's going to benefit the government, in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, apparently the filters will work for weekdays from 7 till 7. So outside, so 7 o'clock at night, I think you can move between these filters as much as you want until 7 o'clock in the morning.
Kind of
What about businesses who get daily deliveries?
So HGVs apparently will be exempt, ambulances exempt, taxis exempt, public transport, cyclists, and obviously pedestrians exempt.
And a business exempt, I'll take it.
I don't know about traveling. Like, are you on about like businesses?
Yes, I've got a company that delivers
pizzas,
wine bottles, or pizzas. Yeah, to so and so, and I do a little.
Does Domino's operate?
I guess they would be.
What if you're a Deliveroo driver?
So I mean, yeah. So then, and if they are exempt, what will happen is what I would do.
I'd sign up to Deliveroo
in the company. I'd buy a nice 4x4, and I would use that as my commuting vehicle, and I'd write it all off, and that's how I would commute. So like there will be, and I would say, yeah, it's my business. I deliver.
Sign up to Uber Eats.
I deliver pamphlets.
Delivering a pizza.
I deliver pamphlets and I'd stop off at one person's house, and he'd have a pamphlet every day. But there'll be people who get around it for sure.
Yeah, of course. It's just like it seems to me. It just seems to me though, like if you are, say, I don't know what the economic situation in Oxford's like. I'm assuming there'll be more well-off areas and more less well-off areas, as most cities go. But in Oxford, it seems like if you haven't got a lot of money, you're going to be penalised more than the people who do have more money, because they may be able to afford other modes of transport that don't necessarily incur the charge.
Yeah.
So
that's
you are poor,
9 times out of 10, that's always the case, so isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're always pitted against the poor.
It seems like it's going to exacerbate the problem that
100%.
is already there.
Have you seen that film? Like, a bit of a tangent, but it does think. Is it In Time? Where and then is it the districts in that, and you got to get through the districts?
Yeah, and it costs you time each time.
Costs you time.
Your life.
This is it looks similar to that. It looked like the centre is green.
Yeah, and that
it looks like you don't want to be in the red bit. Red always seems.
This is 100. This is 100 years away from being the fucking Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Do you want an extra 100 tokens? Well, if you compete in the Hunger Games,
yeah.
This looks like a Saints Row fucking map,
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
In the comments, Ashton said, "My mate who lives in Oxford said that apparently it doesn't apply to vans, so people are just going to buy vans."
Exactly. This is what I mean. Like, people would everyone will be out. Vans.
I love a van.
I mean, what you need to be
are they worse for the environment?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to be getting a little van shop set up.
Yes.
Oxford,
yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
Pickups are good because it's classed as a commercial vehicle, but it's got all the full luxuries of a car.
Yeah.
Let's get yourself a nice pickup. A little pickup.
A nice little Ford Ranger. Oof.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That can poison you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, don't get a
Ford Ranger. That.
Yeah, maybe not get a Ford Ranger. Although, I don't know if it was just your model, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuckers.
I bet they're behind this plan. I bet they're
probably are. There's something sinister going on. You can tell by the shape of that map.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the shape of a human heart. Oh my god.
It's a human heart, isn't it? Yeah. And it's probably
they're ripping the heart out of humanity.
Yeah, they're gonna. This is not good.
Alex Jones will be all over this.
What you're doing a vote of like who agrees and who doesn't agree. If it doesn't, if like 93% are like, nah, we don't want it, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do it anyway.
Yeah. So the council have come out. The Oxfordshire Council have come out and said that 93% of the people didn't necessarily oppose it, because the way that they phrased the question was, you had to basically say yes or no if you were in favour or not in favour of it. And they left a text box at the bottom of the questionnaire, right? And if you put something in there other than yes or no, it didn't necessarily go down as a straight yes or no answer. So they're saying that because people didn't just put yes and put no because this is a crap reason because it will cause more pollution of the environment, they wouldn't necessarily put that down as a negative. They'd just put that down as like, well, undecided.
Void answer.
Yeah.
fuck it.
So their
I'll tell you what as well. I fucking guarantee that the council meet in that green bit in the centre, and I bet each of those bastards lives in one of the county bits, and they will not have to fucking do this token shit. I fucking guarantee it.
And when people start moving out and leaving, and all those houses are free, they'll probably get allocated one of those nice homes.
Yeah,
because it'll be cheaper.
Yeah.
This is the other thing. It's going to impact people's house prices as well, surely.
Yeah. It's just not thought out properly, I don't think. I don't know too much about it in that, but everything just screams from it that it's bad.
Yeah.
If it was purely for the environment, I'd be like,
but
fair play. But it isn't, is it? It's obvious it's not.
No, because it crumbles as soon as you put any pressure on the plan. Like you put any scrutiny.
Surely electric cars are exempt, because otherwise there really is a different motive
I
here.
don't know. I honestly don't know. What I expect I don't know when the electric cars are going to be. This is just like separate from the Oxford thing. I don't know when they're going to be taxed or start to be taxed, but I imagine that'll be soon.
Oh, mate, it's all So all electric cars, when they first come out, you could get so many benefits from them.
Yeah,
like through your business and so many write-offs. And year by year, it's slowly creeping away to the point where once diesels and petrols are obsolete, there won't be any benefits. It'll just be like the same as it always was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because then what they'll realise is that you have to dump lithium batteries into landfill, and then they'll be like, well, actually, they're bad for the environment too. So we'll have to have fucking lithium battery zones and shit.
Yeah,
so,
and the cost of replacing
the
cost of replacing a lithium battery is so expensive. I was chatting to my dad. I haven't researched it, but he was saying he watched this thing about Royal Mail, and so they want to go full electric, and they've got a professor to analyse all the prices, and they were like, if you go, I think they've got 140,000 so vehicles.
Yeah, something like
they
that.
change it all to electric, it'll be bankrupt in a couple of years. Because it just
because they have to replace the batteries.
The cost of replacing all the batteries, and also the infrastructure and charging them up.
At some point soon, they will have to switch away from lithium batteries because it's a finite resource.
Yeah, not enough of it
is just going up in price, and we're getting less and less of. So there are places you can recycle the batteries, and they can be remade into other batteries, I'm guessing, but it seems like the lithium battery at the moment will be, I think, changing. I think they'll probably go to a different battery. I know there's a lot of stuff at the moment about salt batteries.
Alkaline. Get Duracell.
So I don't know whether that's a possibility, but it seems like at the moment everyone's on this this electric car hype, electric everything hype. But some things that haven't even come into production yet, advertised with lithium batteries, I feel will not have lithium batteries when they eventually come out because it'll be too expensive.
Yeah,
and it'll put it way outside of... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, just shifting the problem. If you've got a finite resource, you're going from fossil fuels to lithium. And again, it's another problem that we're...
Yeah. Another thing about the extracting the lithium from the earth is the conditions in which people are extracting that lithium from the earth.
Have you seen the quarries?
Honestly, mate, it is disgusting.
It's
and people who sit there and say you need to get an electric vehicle because you're harming the environment, you're destroying the earth. Look at these fucking mines, man. There are kids. There's not one mine where there's 15,000 people.
Yeah, and like if that quarry was in England, the health and safety would be like, not allowed any more than 200 people in this quarry. They've got 15,000 people on their hands and knees just picking this shit out of the floor.
Yeah,
and it's got to be dangerous.
Oh, fucking
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Also, that we can have phones and shit. I mean, I've got a new phone.
This is the thing. It's like this. What I said before, that like the real problem is
us.
It's us.
Yeah.
It is, and
Yeah,
it
is.
No matter what we keep doing to go. Oh, it's the same thing with all the remember the what was it? Was it palm oil or some oil?
Palm oil.
That because it's natural. So then everyone started using this palm oil, and then we ripped down all the forests in like another country, and like lost their homes, and it's like we keep like going, oh, we'll do this instead, but the problem is like mass consumption. That's the issue.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just, I don't know. Is your car hybrid, Dan?
Yeah.
What do you get on the electric on that if it's fully charged? How many miles?
You get about 30 miles. So for nipping about, it's fine.
It's all right, yeah.
It's quite a good little option. And then obviously,
does it charge while you're using the petrol engine?
A little bit, not majorly, but you get a little bit of charge.
It makes me die. My cousin, he's got the BMW i8, the supercar.
No, yeah.
With the windows, right? And that's a hybrid. Right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And he was like, Geordie, right? Guess how far the electric motor gets. Have a guess in miles in a BMW. 8 miles. You're absolutely right. It goes 8 miles. Like, what's the fucking point?
It's just a gimmick, innit?
Yeah, literally. It goes 8 miles if you switch to electric.
Yeah.
Fuck it now.
I mean, I fill up because most of my journeys are like, nipping around and going to work and stuff. So I don't actually fill up too much unless I'm driving. I'm going up to Manchester later, so I'll fill up then. But most of it's just nipping about. But I think the whole car thing's weird because we just haven't got the bloody infrastructure at the moment. Yeah. I can't see how it's going to work.
No.
Like it's 7 years away. They're stopping production.
I know that's crazy.
So it's like it's mad because there's a lot of like businesses, a lot of people like who just have new cars. If you can only buy electric, I just don't feel ready for it. It's not a long time, 7 years to have this infrastructure.
Well, based on how long it takes to put anything in place of any significance, like 7 years is going to be gone before it's even put in place at all.
Perhaps maybe it's why they're trying to do these zones or something, because they know that I don't know. Just want to basically say if you drive, you're just going to have to pay an absolute fortune.
Yeah,
drive anywhere.
Yeah, that just takes away your freedom. Fuck yeah, I'm moving to Dubai.
That's it.
I'm off.
They give you a car there.
I'll probably give you a fucking Lamborghini. What's the fucking 4x4 one? I've never seen so many of them in my life until I went out to Dubai. There's literally every other car.
Just
every other car was that 4x4 Lamborghini.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking insane. It's like I understand. Obviously, we'll progress and it will get faster to charge and shit. But we've got near me a electric charging petrol station, if you like one of the first ones, and they've got like cafes and shit in them because you can't just fill up your car.
No.
You've got to sit there for half an hour, and I'm not being funny. There's only 10 bays, I think.
No, it doesn't. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't.
I don't work.
Every petrol station in the UK to one of those cafes. It still doesn't add up. And then also all the HGV and everything, you're going to have to put electric systems into there. We haven't got the grid. We haven't got the national grid to facilitate in 7 years a mass migration of electric cars. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They need to invest in more power plants. A nuclear, whatever ones they need. So, because we'll end up outsourcing it and paying even more money.
Yeah, it's looking pretty bleak. But hey, at least the Earth will last longer.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine, just think about how many times you go to the petrol station and like there's someone already filling up, so you got to sit there for like a minute or whatever while they go in and pay. Imagine you pull up and you got to sit there for half an hour to then sit there for half an hour.
It's like going backwards, isn't it? In technology,
it just doesn't.
I don't get it.
Yeah, but also and this is obviously quite probably naive, but like you got people that run their own houses with like a fucking exercise bike. How does the momentum in an electric car not charge the motor?
Well, there's a bit of a theory with that. There's some mechanics who've like done that. But I think if you do it on a Tesla, it's void. But you can basically use some of that momentum to charge the battery back up.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it's not. Like I say, mine does it on mine, but not a lot. So you think, I don't know enough about it, but you think that there's a way to do it more efficiently.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It seems to me like, well, if they did that, then they just buy the car and then that's it.
Yeah, I think you'd always need something to. You'd always need some power to get it going. You'd always need to do like a top up.
Oh yeah, of course. If your car sat idle,
because you always need to generate some energy. But I know what you mean. Yeah, like going down hills and different things. Also, as well, it's like solar. I mean, it feels like we really need to like crack on with the solar panel stuff. Just using the sun's energy. That would be the best.
I think there are a few electric cars out there that do utilize
solar panel cars.
I think there's a company called Fisker. I think they make cars with solar panels on top of the roof. I'm pretty sure they do.
They got really good. I know quite a lot about I say I know quite a lot. I'm exposed to quite a lot about solar panels because my girlfriend's dad literally owns a renewable energy company, and because they do like batteries now. Have you seen them? So like your solar panel obviously draws in energy, and then you store it in a battery, and then you use the battery for energy when it's dark and shit.
Yeah, my mate's an electrician. He says that. So if you fit, the more batteries you fit, you can store the energy.
Just store the energy.
The grid, just store the energy.
Yeah.
And then reuse it. That's becoming more popular.
Yeah. But because that's not, like you say, with initiatives and stuff, like they used to have fucking banging initiatives with solar. Fucking hell. And like the money they paid you to send it back to the grid, and that's all just been fucking cut.
Yeah. That's the trouble, is that as we progress and it becomes more mainstream, the government's like, nah, can't have this. And it'll just go into something else.
Yeah. And then you get all. I'm not being funny. You get all these plans. We'll have a general election. Labour will get in, and then a lot of this shit will be thrown out anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like fucking.
Yeah, they use it as a mechanism to get into power. They're like,
you don't want those zones, do you?
Yeah. If we come in, we'll scrap that zone. Oh, okay, cool.
Boom, you got my vote. There you go. I have a red tie for a bit. It's like fucking. I hate politics so much, but it's just fucking bollocks, isn't it? It's bollocks. Really is pick your poison.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to the Oxford situation, just because I've found this, it's an article. It's a very short article about. Basically, just asked one of the councillors for the transport section of Oxford what his kind of reaction to it is, and he said the filters would turn Oxford into a 15-minute city with local services within a small walking radius. Mr. Enright said, who is the councillor, it is about making sure you have the community centre which has all of those essential needs, the bottle of milk, pharmacy, GP, schools, which you need to have a 15-minute neighbourhood.
What about hospitals?
Well, yeah, he didn't mention that, but that is part of the plan, apparently.
There's one hospital in Norwich. What, are you going to build 5 hospitals?
Apparently so. This is what the idea is, that if you siphon off the amount of people that go to one place into 5 smaller places, that it won't be overwhelmed, but it fucking will. The aim
it's stupid, isn't it? What a stupid system.
The aim is to reduce traffic in the city centre and make city living more pleasant. But critics say the plans will negatively affect businesses and the city's economy. A decision will be made on November the 29th, and it is the date for the cabinet decision following a consultation which closed earlier this month. Mr. Enright told the Sunday Times, "It's going to happen, definitely." I feel
it's so dumb. The concept of it, a 15-minute city. It's like, well, we've already got. We've got online for a start, which most people order everything online. Like food, like bottles of milk, like you
have corner shops everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So that it's like it's something we don't need. If you go to the hospital, most people have got hospitals. If you live in a big town, you've got all these bits within 15, 20 minutes anyway. It's like
and also, it's like, it's going to improve city living. If you live in a city, you know what you're getting into. If you don't like it, move to the fucking countryside. I would never move to London because I fucking hate London and I hate the pace. I hate how it's just crowded. I just fucking hate it. I hate the tube system. I hate it all. So I'll just never fucking live there. But if I lived there and I hated it, I'd fucking move out of it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, fuck me. I think this is a few fucking politicians or councillors that live in cities and fucking hate it. And so they're like, fuck it, I'm going to change the world around me so that it feels like I live in the village that I did when I was a kid.
It doesn't. So they're going to have to build like in places to fit in with the model, like new schools, new hospitals and that. It's like, that's
where's
fine.
the money for that come from?
Build them, but like build them anyway, like within the areas that need them at the moment, not to fit in with your 50. Because basically, if you live out the city, then you don't have access to the schools or the hospitals, and we're understaffed and under budgeted anyway. In police force, fire service, hospitals, like they're going to build more.
Yeah, it's just fucking.
It doesn't. It really doesn't add up. It's weird.
No,
it's
such a moronic.
Weird.
It's a moronic idea.
And
I just cannot. I refuse to believe if this was passed. I just refuse to believe there wouldn't be riots and protests.
Yeah, the fact it's called 15-minute city as well just is like it's obviously not. That's to go everywhere.
Yeah, 15-minute cities. How many would they have to make in London?
Yeah.
That'd be like fucking 30. Well, they cut it up into like 30, 40 districts.
Yeah,
and most cities anyway. If you live in the city, I would argue. In fact, I know if you live in any city in the UK, you've got all those facilities available to you anyway within 50 minutes.
Depends how big the city is. I guess.
So it's essentially just charging for it.
Just charging for it. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Oh, like, is it 15 minutes to walk or is it 15?
They're saying
it'd be walk.
15 minutes. Yeah, walk 15 minutes is what they.
That's again. So we've got a transportation system, i.e. a car that gets you somewhere that makes a 15-minute walk a 5-minute drive, whatever.
If that.
Yeah, if that. So like, they're basically because you can drive to a hospital in 10 minutes, but because now we're saying you have to walk there in 15, we've got to build another 7 hospitals.
Yeah, so that it doesn't make sense.
It's dumb. Give everyone scooters.
Fucking hell. It's just the
old green scooters.
It's just fucking ridiculous. But then again, these people that are in charge, I mean, we had, I can't even remember her name. What was the name of the Prime Minister we had for like 40 days?
Liz Truss.
Liz Truss. You know, you think, well, if they're in government, they must be really intelligent and like know what they're doing. I mean, she lasted fucking a month. You know, her cabinet that she put together tanked the economy overnight. You know, sometimes some people in power are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Maybe the person in charge of this idea is just a fucking self-centered idiot.
Mm. I think it seems like it's a bigger sort of organisation that's behind it. I know there's the World Economic Forum, who we spoke about before when we mentioned about you will own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
They are rumoured to be behind it, and would probably
it's the Illuminati, mate. It's the Illuminati. I tell you what, stop fucking concreting everything and just plant more trees and grass. That might help.
Get
more oxygen.
Trees and grass.
Into like
It'd be hilarious. I wonder how many forest reserves they're going to cut down to build these hospitals. Quality. Fucking idiots, man.
It is. Yeah, let's save the environment. Okay, how should we do that? We're going to build loads more stuff. Oh, right. Yeah, we're going to get more people in those places that we've built as well. Oh, so you got more people consuming a load more? Yeah. We're going to do that. Get all those people in there. That'll solve our problem of trying to. More people is the answer in more places.
Yeah, it's all right because a lot
Bigger
of
buildings,
bicycles,
more schools, but we stopped the cars. I thought we had the car thing sorted with electric. Nah.
No.
We need to change that up.
That was phase 1, my good friend.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Jesus. Right, we'll go to a Q&A at the end of the episode.
Nice.
Jesus Christ, what a terrible idea that is.
Bilbo's been all over this in the chat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know Oxford is already pretty heavily unfriendly to cars anyway, especially the centre of Oxford. And I know people have been kicking off about that, like they've been putting in like low traffic zones or no car areas, and people have been kicking off about that even before all this.
Pedestrianisation.
That's it, yeah. But another reason I brought that story up is I could 100% see that sort of thing happening in Norwich. For me, that is
every city. That model will go in every single city. Because what's the point in doing? Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, like you say, if it works for them financially, fuck if it works for the people or what they think of it. If it works financially, they're going to do it. 10
million this year from this scheme. Oh, brilliant!
One city.
Let's do it. Let's do it every other city, and then we've got X amount of million. It doesn't matter if it affects individuals or businesses or anything. They don't care.
What's Liam saying here? Did any of you guys get round to watching The Traitors? I've been rewatching some of your old pods, and in one, Jordan said about feeding the birds, and I've been doing it recently. It's very
nice. It is. I had to stop that, Liam, because I got 2 cats. I used to love it. I used to go out in the mornings and then just throw some seeds about, and it was nice, a bit of fresh air and that. But then I got 2 cats, and I thought I'd literally be luring these birds to their death.
I did the same, mate. Pigeons, and I've taken all our bird feeders because they just kill them all.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Christ,
it's like a trap.
Have you seen The Traitors? It's brilliant.
I haven't. No.
So
no,
good.
I haven't either.
I watched like 2, and then we binge watched it on the Isle of Wight about all the episodes. It's so good. It's such a good psychological program.
Nice.
Game show. Yeah, it's brilliant. I don't know what it's on. Just general TV, I think. Channel 4, BBC, something like that.
Nice.
It makes your mind it's really good. It's really good.
I'll tell you one thing I'm looking forward to watching, and I didn't even realise because The Last of Us has come out. I've signed up to Now TV because it's the only way you can watch it through Now TV or Sky. So I didn't realise True Detective was on Sky Atlantic. So I'm going to watch the shit out of that because
is it?
It is, yeah.
Well, I mean, I bought the first. I bought True Detective season 1 box set.
Oof.
For £3 on eBay. So I got
what is it? Are they doing it again? Then are they? I've seen a couple of them.
First season's fucking amazing.
First season's McConaughey and
Woody Harrelson.
That's it, yeah. And then the second season is
Colin
Farrell.
Yeah.
And then the third season, I think, is Wesley Snipes. I may be wrong.
No, it's not. It's the guy who's taken over as Blade.
You look like Wesley Snipes. Is that why I've said that? Or feel like I've said that?
I mean, they're both playing Blade. What's his name? Mahershala Ali.
Ah, right, okay. That's him. I thought it looked like Wesley Snipes when I saw a glimpse of him earlier.
I've seen the third season, actually. Is it?
I don't know when it came out, the third season, but I will be watching that.
Is it that? There's one where like it's skipping back in time, like going old and new. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what in True Detective.
Yeah.
That's the
Is that
first.
the
Well, they
concept
haven't.
of
I've only seen the first season, but that's the first
Yeah,
season.
it must be. I have seen all three.
McConaughey's fucking hell, man. That man as an actor is incredible.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite.
Yeah, he's just fucking really cool guy as well. I like a lot of his like motivational stuff and that.
Yeah. You follow him?
No, I don't. But I just watch videos and stuff of him saying shit, and I watched his interview on Joe Rogan. That was really good.
After like a film, he always has like a month off, and he just goes to like the forest or goes on these big journeys and go to a cabin, like just on his own or with like a little, and just has like a reset. Really cool.
That's awesome.
I think one of the favourite things, I might misquote him on this, but I think one of the favourite things I've heard him say is, my hero is me in the future.
That's really cool.
That's quality.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What else we got here?
He's a cool dude.
Cameron Bruce, are you lads gonna do any more challenges like the camping? Loved that vid up the APMA.
I'd definitely be open to it in the future.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
You are planning to do something similar-ish, maybe allegedly down the line.
I have asked. I mean, Lozzie, you're more than welcome to join us if you want. But I have asked Dan for my channel. I want to do a survival, but I want to do it properly. I'm talking 5 to 7 days. The only reason it would last 3 days is if we can't filter water and we'll literally die. Like I want to do it like properly. You know. So yeah.
Traps. There's gonna have to be some fail safes in there.
No. The fail safe is death.
Okay.
But
how does the footage go? Are you live streaming it or are you filming?
I'll pay someone to film it.
Okay, you're right. I'll say.
And
they obviously
they can do they can have like Snickers bars and that, but
so they'll be target number 1 after about 5
minutes. But yeah, no, I really want to do that. I really want to do that. So but no, I'd definitely be up for even if it's just not even a challenge, but even if it's just we go camping somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, just sit around a campfire. It was cool.
We were just mesmerized by fire.
We literally stared at that fire for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just like
there's a couple of places where you can there's like a lake or whatever, and then there's like an island in the middle. It'd be cool to
swim over,
get a little boat, and then just go over to that island, and then just set up on an island for like a day.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Bilbo, totalitarianism is all I'm going to say. We're going to turn into a totalitarian state. I mean, I can't exactly argue with you at the minute with the fucking Oxford shit going on, mate. So
it is true. That's just terrible.
I reckon Bilbo's got a fucking nuclear bunker in his garden. He love it. Oh, look, he says I do survival expeditions all the time. It truly tests your character. There we go. How many machetes you got, Bilbo?
He forges them himself.
Yes, that's quality.
Have you guys watched the axe wielding hitchhiker yet from Kai Edwards? I haven't. Not gonna lie. I have to see. Never heard of it before, to be honest. Is it on Netflix or something? I don't know.
Netflix,
yeah. I did a video on it. I put it on Facebook. Basically, this guy went viral in 2013 because this guy, he was hitchhiking with this guy, and then this guy ran someone over and started attacking people. So the hitchhiker got a hatchet out and started smacking this mental guy in the head with a hatchet. Didn't kill him, but brought him down. And then did this viral news interview afterwards where he was just buzzing, and it was really weird. And then he just gets really famous from that, goes on Jimmy Kimmel and that, and then murders someone, all within 3 months. So,
and then, what was it? And then he
murdered someone.
Really?
He's at the height of his fame, and he kills a guy. And the whole documentary, mate, I'm sat there like, is no one addressing how buzzing this guy is that he hatcheted a guy in the head? And they're just like, he's a hero. He saved people.
I'm going to watch that then.
Mate, it's really good. It's really cool. It's a really good documentary.
I thought he was the one who killed the guy who he attacked in the first place.
The guy he attacked, he hit him twice with the blunt side, then once with the sharp side. He did do damage, but the guy he attacked went to prison because fucking rad. Yeah, and then he was just treated like a. Funnily enough, his name was Kai, and the guy that's asked questions, Kai. He was just treated like a hero, taken on to fucking Jimmy Kimmel and all that, or is it Fallon? Kimmel, no, it is Kimmel. And then he was like a cult hero and murdered a guy.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, but if you Doody Rhino on Facebook, I've done a 9-minute breakdown of the 1.5-hour documentary, but I do skip like his childhood and stuff because I can't, 8 minutes out of an hour and a half, you have to cut some content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His childhood wasn't important.
Yeah, it was tragic, but it weren't important. It definitely made him the person he was, but it's not important.
I mean, his dad was killed by an axe-wielding hitchhiker, but it wasn't important.
Yeah. Nah, he was. Yeah, no. It wasn't
Mate, I can imagine him going to see Jordan as a psychologist, and he's like, right, it all started when I was about for that.
Whoa! What did you do on the night of the murder?
I don't give a shit about your shoulders, son. Nothing to do with it. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it. I want the juice.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah. But no,
No one
the
holds
documentary's
story.
really cool. The documentary's really cool. For
I'll
sure.
have to give it a watch. Or I could just watch your video, 8 minutes compared to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, just bear in mind he had a hard upbringing, and then you'll be fine. I could have literally just gone, he had a very hard upbringing, and then just gone back to it, but never mind. We learn.
That's it. We evolve.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
I don't know if Bilbo Baggins was saying, how did you know, in response to us saying he makes his own machetes? I don't know.
Or the nuclear bunker. It's one of the
A
two.
nuclear bunker, yeah, it might be a nuclear bunker.
I would quite like to build a bunker in my garden.
I fucking love it.
I built a fire. Well, me and my mate Dan built a fire pit. Well, Dan built a fire pit.
I built a farm. I'm with my mate. Well done, he built a farm.
Yeah, I paid for the materials, but he built it. Anyway, it's like a really cool round fire pit, and I was just like, because obviously, I've got that there, which is like actually a door. I was thinking, if I made the fire pit the door to the bunker, that would be really cool. I kind of want to build a bunker and then have the fire pit as a door. Bilbo's got both. He's got machetes and a bunker. That's it.
Got machetes in a bunker.
I follow a guy who's built a full-on underground, there's huge workshop in his garden underground. And then I can't remember his name. He's got famous YouTube. He just builds stuff, and now he's built tunnels going down to it from his house.
Oh man!
But it is epic. Like, it's huge, and he's got. So he goes down. You go into his cupboard in his kitchen, and then you get down ladders like a trapdoor, and then he's got full-on tunnels you can walk through.
Oh my god!
Sounds like the Barbarian.
Yeah.
To walk through, and then he's got a workshop, underground workshop / bunker.
That's insane. So, because obviously when you buy a house, you buy the land with it. As long as you don't do structural damage to yours or anyone else's house, can you just dig down?
I think you can. Yeah, I think you have to. There's certain things that you can and can't do.
Right.
Regarding, you have to. I think you probably have to get it checked by, I don't know, an architect or building or surveyor or something.
Yeah.
I think you can. People do it. So people build, they build like garden sheds and offices and stuff, don't they? And extend boundaries. I think it just it depends on what you're actually doing. Because if you're digging up all the ground and moving it, obviously you're gonna have to check with your neighbours and make sure that it's structurally sound.
Apparently, planning permission would be required, but I feel like if you're building a nuclear bunker, kind of defeats the object. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want people.
You could build a little one and get away with it quite easily.
Yeah,
because you could just have a shed up and then just dig under the shed.
Yeah,
Jesus,
that's a good idea.
So
I need a project.
Oh mate, that'd be cool. Just get your shed and just dig.
Just dig. Okay. Oh mate. I've got quite a big shed as well, so there's plenty of room to put the dirt on the side.
You'd be like a Shawshank Redemption, mate. They're just
Yeah.
walking around your garden, flicking it down your jeans.
Yeah.
Your missus is like, why is Jordan Keaton on the golf course?
Yeah. So it's empty in my pockets.
Oh dear.
Building
That's
a
brilliant.
tunnel.
I have a pre-planned abandoned bunker close to me just in case. Tinfoil hat wearer here. There we go. Nice.
Man after my own heart.
Quite worrying how many people are watching us who've actually got bunkers.
Yeah.
They're more than know than I am. I'd love to have a bunker in my garden or whatever.
If he was to sell his house, he has to sell it as a bunker with a house built on top of it. There you go.
Bunker for sale.
Yeah.
Nice
With
little
house.
Or you just block off, I don't know, build another tunnel to like somewhere in the village and then just keep your bunker, block it off to the house so they don't even know.
Like, surely there's houses from like when the war was with like bunkers.
Yeah, air raid bunkers.
Yeah.
In fact, I saw when I went down to the Isle of Wight, we walked along the beach and it was in Bembridge, and so they're out to sea about 100 meters. They had 3 concrete big structures where obviously they would have had them if any ships come to attack.
Oh right, yeah.
But then the house on the beach had a big concrete bunker, and you know, like the little bits where you could put your gun through.
Oh, what are they called? Not pillboxes. What are they called? Are they pillboxes? No. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, had one of those at the end. I was like thinking, I wonder if they own that or whether you can go in it. I mean, it's quite unsightly to have that at the end of your garden, but it kind of looks cool, but it's like just a bit weird.
Yeah, definitely. But you can defend yourself.
Yeah, and obviously there must be I mean, unless they didn't want to, but I can't imagine you can just knock it down.
No. Yeah.
I'd imagine not. No.
Might be grade 2.
But that's history.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah, grade 2 listed. Yeah.
Oh my god. Amazing.
We've got a couple of those, like you say, like literally just like a concrete kind of almost like a den, but with like the slits in it, so you can, you know, fire through it on the coast where near us. I think it's in like
there are some up on the coast around your area. To be fair, I remember that.
But last time it was probably like 2019 that I went that sort of way. I think it's like Hemsby, that sort of way. We went up to one and there was a load of fucking rubbish in it, like drug paraphernalia.
A lot of them are trash, didn't they? Graffiti.
Yeah.
Little hideouts for wasted youths.
Yeah. Yeah. A few syringes.
I did check if there was anything left in there to salvage, but nah.
Oh dear.
Selfish. Well, on that note, I think we'll end it.
Lovely. Oh, he's gone.
Imagine Lozzie's just a full-on addict, and he's just like, "Oh
my god, what? Oh, Matt. Oh, there he is.
Sorry.
What happened there?
I literally said in my brain, do this as a joke, kind of fake end it, and then I accidentally pressed end my end. So you guys just left there. Oh, dear.
That was funny,
Oh, yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll be living in 15-minute cities, so make sure you get a bike, and hope that they build a GP that's good near you. Otherwise, just end it all.
We're fucked.
That's it. Thanks for joining us. Up the APMA, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.